Northwestern Ontario has the largest number of First Nations boil water advisories in the country. Our Ontario Hub's editor, Jon Thompson, covers that part of the province for us. He joins us now from our studio at Confederation College in Thunder Bay on what kind of progress is happening and what's still needed. Welcome to the show, Jon.
Thanks so much for having me, Dan.
All right, so this is not the first time we've talked about the issue, and unfortunately not the last time, but I want to talk specifically of the riding in Kenora. What's the problem there?
Well, you'll remember that First Nations water, drinking water, as an infrastructure issue, rose to prominence over the past decade. When Justin Trudeau's Liberals won in 2015, they promised they were going to eliminate all boil water advisories in the long term over 5 years. It's a 4-year term that they were elected to, of course. Kenora had 28 boil water advisories at that time. It is now down to 16. But it's still quite a lot. The federal numbers are 87 have been crossed off of that list, and there are still 56 to go.
So when we talk about what the Liberals campaigned on and what the Trudeau government has accomplished, let's talk specifically what has been set up and what still has to be done.
Well, it was strange to have Justin Trudeau in town this week announcing those figures and announcing that indeed they will meet those targets in 2021. A week ago, the entire community of Niskandiga First Nation that has been under a boil water advisory for 25 years evacuated their community and came 450 kilometers westward to Thunder Bay because a pump broke down. Water was trickling. There were rashes on the skin of people, and bathing was difficult. They've been living with 1.5 liters of water per person per day for all of the things that they need to do. That's brushing your teeth, doing your dishes, and all that kind of stuff. And so they evacuated for about a week's time. They were in Thunder Bay.
Now, you had mentioned...
Right in the middle of this federal election.
Now, well, you had mentioned we are in the middle of this campaign. What happens if the Liberals don't win? Because you had mentioned these projects go on for 5 years, but we know a government's term is 4 years.
Indigenous Services says it's on track to meet that target. When you speak to people who work in this industry, who are really in the gears of the systems, they're saying that is extremely unlikely. And the reason is because there is a lot of bureaucracy working with government, there's a lot of complications, and there are a lot of unknowns. Many of these communities are remote. And so the challenges you have with even getting some of this material to communities as climate change shortens the winters and impacts the ice road season. All of these are factors. And ultimately, it is the First Nation leadership that determines whether the boil water advisory is lifted. And so the probability that these 56 will come off by the end is thin. The other parties are not making that promise.
Now, it sounds like a simple question, but why aren't the short-term solutions the answer?
Well, the short-term solutions aren't the answer for a lot of reasons. Many of these communities are based in the James Bay lowlands, which is one of the largest wetlands in the world. And so you're talking about water with a great deal of nutrients in it, and that is very difficult to work with. The other factor that has been highlighted, and this has been a long-standing issue for everyone who knows this issue, is training and supplies, ensuring that the things that might break are on site if they need to be replaced, or else the system may incur larger damages, and ensuring that there are people who are trained properly, who are hired and paid adequately to do this kind of work. One of the problems that I'm hearing about is that the payment is not equal to working in a municipality, for example. And so if somebody is then certified through a tribal council to run their community's water system, there's a good $20,000, $30,000 more that might go from them working in a municipality of similar size.
Jon, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Very important stuff and very informative stuff. We'll keep a close eye on this. Thanks again for joining us.
Thanks so much, Dan.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario. CPA Ontario is a regulator, an educator, a thought leader, and an advocate. We protect the public. We advance our profession. We guide our CPAs. We are CPA Ontario. And by viewers like you. Thank you.